Hey everybody, welcome back for another live Q&A. I am the Alchemist 369, and I just want to welcome everybody here today. And while we wait for the questions to load in, feel free to drop your guys' questions in the comments and things like that. Um, Before we get started here, I just want to say, yeah, welcome guys, welcome. I just want to say, the other side is real, guys. The other side is real. And it is something that every one of you guys can experience here and now. You don't have to die to get there. You don't have to seek for answers. You don't have to watch NDEs. You don't even have to listen to OBEs. You guys can leave your body and experience the other side for yourself. And at that moment, you don't have to believe anything. It becomes a knowing at that point. You see? Then it becomes a knowing. Now you just know you exist outside of here. And you're going to come back in such an elevated state. I have a testimonial coming out. This guy, he's been, working with me for a while. He's been on the path for a while, I should say. And he's had several out of body experiences now. He's went through the firmament. He's going to describe what that feels like. He's seen a city beyond it. He had contact with the mantis being. He's seen the pyramids in Antarctica. Like, these things are real, and more people are experiencing these things. The other side is 100% real. Your deceased loved ones didn't go anywhere. They still are here. You know, that threw me off. I know it's real. Still ain't answering. Answering what, my friend? Answering what? But all right. So we'll get into it because these things popping up are kind of throwing me off. But we'll get into it. So yeah, yeah. So we'll start doing the questions and things like that. Um, all right. So how can I tell the difference between a real lucid dream and dreaming that I had a lucid dream? How can you tell the difference between a real lucid dream and dreaming that you had a lucid dream? The question's a little confusing. I'm not exactly sure what you mean, but how you can tell you're in a lucid dream is you realize that you're dreaming. You see, and there's different levels of lucid dreaming. The first level is you're like, oh, I'm in a dream, and then you're just going with the flow, still kind of not really commanding things, and then from there you can bring your whole awareness there and things like that. I actually just did a full presentation in Beyond the Veil on dreams, how to become conscious, what you can do in them, how you can navigate that, and things like that. I would suggest you guys to check that out. It's really detailed, and I explain everything there for you. But yeah, I hope that answers your question here and now. Though you'll know, like you'll know when you're dreaming. A big thing is don't question these things. When you're in a dream, you'll know. I'll try again to ask, how can one make sure that you eliminate all past negative thought forms? How long do they exist? So, how long do they exist? So, like, it's pretty instantly. Like, so how to answer this? The best way to answer this is like, if you have a negative thought form, it's not going to manifest until like you're outside of your body, and then it will manifest there. Now, if you're talking about like any type of thought form, if you think on it long enough, like a potential future thought form, it will play out a little bit. Once you reach that decision point in your life, that potential future will play out a little bit, and then it will diminish depending on how much thought you put in. Now, if you now, if you now if you now if you think on it long enough, it will stay there. So if you're talking about like what's a like the boogeyman or something like that, like it may be there, but you may not even see it. It's kind of what it is. But You know, if you're just having a thought, it doesn't stay too long. It doesn't stay too long. I hope that helps. Is it safe to astral project for people with health issues? Yeah, now, let me make this disclaimer. I'm not a doctor or anything, but it is the out of body experience is completely safe. It has nothing to do with this physical body. We are honestly in a video game, guys. It's not like this is it. This is not the end all be all. We are literally in like a video game, and you can pause the game, leave it, get out of it, and come back. And honestly, it will honestly help because you'll be operating at a heightened frequency. Once you're in your soul, you'll be operating at such a heightened frequency. You'll come back and be able to heal your physical body. Like it's intense. It is intense. But yeah, we're in a video game, guys. Like anything here is very temporary. You can leave your body and step out and return back to the eternal aspect of yourself. No problem. No problem. If you are familiar with Isabella Green's work, what are your thoughts? She has a different take on the Matrix. I've never heard of Isabella Green. I've never heard of her, so I can't touch on that. Sorry, Tracy. Let's see. I've been working really hard on manifestation. My life is really chaotic right now because I'm a single mom and I'm finding it hard to get into the correct state. Do you have any tips for focus? Yeah. All right. Let me think here. These things are tough live, but you're a single mom. You're having a hard time with focus to manifest. You have to try to detach from this physical world. You see, like you have to detach from this physical world, understand that you exist beyond here and that everything happening here is temporary. I know this is easier said than done, but it is. And listen to get in this mind state. There's a good track that I like. There's I Am a God affirmations. I recommend this to everybody because this puts you in a state that you need to be in to create your reality. If somebody in the chat knows what I'm talking about, link it in the comments. The I Am a God affirmations that I recommend. That things like that is a very good thing to get you in that high state of vibration. Now, aside from that, meditate. Take 5 minutes a day every morning and meditate and collect yourself. That will help you detach from this physical world. Now, there are plenty of meditation techniques to do so, but that is truly where it all starts because everything in here starts on the mental plane. You see, before anything happens here, it starts in the mental plane. So once you get your mental plane in check, your thoughts in check, you can then do anything. Now, when you're here and you have a lot of things going on and it's chaotic, it is very important for you to take time for yourself. 5 minutes a day. Start there. 99% of people do not meditate. They don't even collect their thoughts, collect their selves. So, I would start there. Start there for sure. Mhm. I have an intense question. When you're ready and aligned and it's correct and all that, can you choose to die during an OBE, like when you're older or what have you? Is that something we can do? Yeah, I wouldn't choose the word die because that just puts people in a different state. But yeah, anytime you're in an out of body experience, you have the opportunity to stay there, for sure. So I will say yes. But now, ultimately, you will not want to do that until it's like really your time. You see, like until like it's really your time because you came here for a reason, right? You think about this. Your higher self is your soul outside of any human mindset, your higher self that knows all things, that knows what's best for you, your true self, you see. Now, when you leave your body, you are returning back to that. So all of your memories may not be back instantly when you're out of your body, But when a situation occurs, like, okay, it's time to make that decision. Do I want to stay or go back? Your memory will come back and you will remember, like, no, I need to go back to Earth. Like, you will have a strong pull back here from within. You see, you will have a very strong pullback to come back here, to finish what you started, to finish your mission here, to play it out, or for the people that you love. You see, like it's strong and it's real. So you will come back in that aspect. Now, I did see another question earlier talking about how many near-death experiences they they're forced back here. All right. Now, to touch on this, nobody's ever forced. All right. Now, you have to understand that when you're in an out-of-body experience or a near-death experience, particularly a near-death experience, you're just getting thrown out of here. Like, you don't know what's going on. You didn't plan this ahead of time. You don't know what's going on. And your memory certainly is not back. You're just seeing everything you don't even know where you are or what's going on. You just know it feels great. Well, think about that. If you don't know what's going on and it just feels great, you might be like, well, shit, let me just stay here, right? But your memory is not fully back, you see? And you don't know what's going on. It's a really quick experience. So people on the other side that know you and that know what you're supposed to do, they'll be like, yeah, remember, it's not really your time, buddy. Like, let's go back. Think of it like a kid when he wakes up in the morning. A kid wakes up in the morning, a real little kid, and the parents like, it's okay, baby, go back to sleep. You know, a kid wakes up, doesn't know what's going on. It's okay, baby. You know, just go back to sleep. It's like that. You know, it's not a forceful thing. It's really not. It's honestly more regular than anything else. Like, we have to really get out of this understanding that, like, this is base reality, this is real life and things like that, because that's put you in a state of mind where, like, the other side is strange. You don't know what's going on. And, oh, this person told me this. You have to think of it as like, it's the same process as here. Like, you have to understand that you're going back in forgetfulness, you see, and there's people there that remember, so they will help guide you in that aspect. In some of these cases. Now, when I say these things, is there gray areas? Is everything black and white? No, it's not. There's instances where these things cannot be true. There's tons of loopholes. I just try to do my best to give you guys what will happen the majority of the time, and to try to change your perspective to understand these things. You know, I just try to do my best to do that. Now, and that's really kind of what it's like. And the same thing is, like, if you're out of your body and you see somebody and, like, they do something to you or they catch you off guard, you got to imagine, like, people are the same on the other side. So, like, some people are goofy, you know, some people are goofy and they're goofy on the other side too. They may, like, hey, buddy, wake up, you know, or something like that. And it will freak you out if you don't know what's going on. So to take your mindset from, you got to understand that, like, when you think about the other side, think of it like going home and waking up from a dream. Just imagine you're going back home to your family. You just don't remember it, you know. And in that aspect, you know, everything's safe, everything's okay. You know, you're going back to a family that loves you, you know. In that aspect, you can really think of these things kind of like that. I hope that helps. But yeah, to answer your question, you can ultimately stay, you know, if you want, but you ultimately won't want to until it's really like your time, or, you know, something like that. Hmm. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're appreciated too. All right. Hey. Oh, thank you. I was just wondering if you've tried reality shifting or intentionally shift into a 3D alternate parallel universe. What are your thoughts about it? So, there are a lot of ways to go about this and think about it. One way where you shift to a parallel reality where some of you may be referring to or thinking about is like, I heard, one time, if you get in the shower and hot water and imagine yourself on another timeline, like jumping timelines or something like that, right? Well, it doesn't really work like that. You see, there's one reality where you are, and that's here and now. Your soul is 100% here in this body. So, like, the theory that you can shift timelines and things, like, it doesn't really work like that. It's your soul is here and now, like, it's here. Now you can shift your potential futures and things like that, sure, but it's not really like you're jumping timelines into a parallel universe per se. It's not really like that. It's a lot more regular and well thought out than that. I will say that. I hope that helps. Hey, what does going into sleep paralysis feel like? What are the sensations you may feel? Yeah, so there's a few different things about this. So if you're sleeping and you just wake up in sleep paralysis, like, that was my understanding of it when I was having, like, I've had it when I was younger. A few years ago I was having it like every night. Now, when you just wake up in it, it's like you're sleeping, and then the next thing you know, you're just awake and aware, and you can't move. Like, you just can't move. Like, you can try to move, you can try to talk or anything, and it's going to freak you out, because normally what happens when you wake up, you open up your eyes or you move or something. So initially when you wake up in it, you're going to freak out. You see, like, it's just a natural thing that's going to happen, because what you're expecting is to be able to open up your eyes and move, but you can't. You see, and it just feels like you're like stuck inside of something, that, like, what is going on? That's kind of what that feels like when you just wake up in it. But when you induce it consciously, this can happen a few different ways, and this can happen different for everybody. For me, when I'm doing this consciously and I'm practicing, it feels like a wave comes in. Now, there's several different sensations. Like, I hit my first wave very quickly, where it's not the strong vibrational phase yet. It's not sleep paralysis, but I will feel a wave overcome my body, and it's like my frequency shifted. Like, I start hearing different things. I start shifting out. I know my body's really asleep at that point. But then eventually, when you get to the point where it's sleep paralysis, it will feel like a ton of bricks hit you. Like, it will feel like a wave overcomes. For me, it literally it starts at the top of my head, like, boom, and it just goes down and you're just stuck. Like, you will know 100% you're in sleep paralysis and you can't move. Like, no matter what you try to do, you cannot move, so it's kind of like that. What else can I say about that? Yeah, it feels like when you do it consciously, for me, it always comes in a wave, and it like starts at my head, and it will just feel heavy, and then it just overcomes my whole body, and it feels like somebody's sitting on your chest, or like your whole, it's weird. It's a weird sensation. But yeah, that's what you'll feel. I hope that helps, my friend. Can our pets go over on the other side as well? Yeah, 100%, guys. Yeah, 100%. And so outside of my body, I see some dogs sometimes. An experience I had a couple months ago, I was out and my dog was actually there waiting for me, like, to tell me something. It was a weird thing. I just had a testimonial with this lady, Vita, and Vita actually took her dog with her in the out of body state to the galactic realm. Like, she actually left realm 1, Earth, and went to another realm with her dog, you know. And yeah, they're there on the other side. And she said her dog's personality was exactly the same. Her dog didn't really want to go, because her dog's one of the dogs that just kind of likes to stay and hang around and stuff. She was like, yeah, its personality was exactly the same. It was kind of funny. And yeah, your pets go with you on the other side. Hmm. What is free will? What is destiny? Is CERN altering timelines? So CERN, I wouldn't say they're altering timelines. When these things come out, there's truth in them, but then they also hide them with lies and narratives that aren't really true. But they are, playing with particle accelerators, creating portals and things like that. Now you have to understand that CERN, particularly, like there's Lord Shiva in the front, a statue of Lord Shiva in a portal outside. Like it's obvious what they're doing there. Like they're playing with portals and things like that, trying to make stargates or portals like we used to, and things like that. Yeah, that's very true. Now, what is free will? Free will is the choice to do what you want. What is destiny? I would say destiny is like a pre-planned event that you plan for yourself that is supposed to happen. You see, like if you came into this life and you plan to meet somebody, well, that would be considered like your destiny to do that, right? It's not some mystical, magical thing. It's just like that's what you planned for yourself to experience here. And free will is the choice to do whatever you want outside of that. So like I did a video on this and a couple Instagram reels. So like if you imagine like a ruler or a timeline, and on the timeline at like you're starting at 0, and then there's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Well, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you imagine a ruler, would be like your fixed time events. You see, so as time moves along, when you reach the 1, this event is going to happen. Now, in between that, you have free will to come and do as you please. You see, that's the best way I can explain that, my friend. How long did it take you to completely get rid of fear when going out the body? Yeah, so I was leaving my body when I was doing it by myself, like before I had anybody telling me like this is what it is, this is what you can experience. That fear was there, man. It was there because like I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know if I could come back. I didn't know what was going on. It was a scary sensation. Or what I could experience. You hear all these stories and things, but then once I found out, what it was and where you can go, the fear, I didn't really have too much fear in me. Now when I'm practicing, sometimes like I was practicing to the point where I was leaving like so consistently, like I'd just be sleeping, wake up, sleep paralysis, and be leaving. Now when you wake up and you're in an unconscious state, yeah, initially you get a little scared, but you just push through it. And in soul form, you have no fear. I've never had fear when I was out in my actual soul form. I never had fear. Now the fear comes in now when I'm half out, half in, floating above my body. I can't really move yet, and I'm stuck. And then you hear something behind you. Hell yeah, it should be scary because you're not fully out yet, and you can't really move. You're very vulnerable in that state. So things like that come up. But once you're out, like I never really had no fear. And another thing that eliminated fear was it's really weird when you're out. So I mean, fear to leave, like I just would get in the mindset in the human body. If you're talking about fear like that, like before you leave or if it's happening, you just get in the mindset, man. Listen to one of my videos or something, and that fear will just dissolve. You will just it will put you in a state of like, okay, this is what I'm doing. I am safe, I am guided, I am protected. You see, it will just it will shift your frequency to that of one that is out of fear when you listen to things like that. All right, that's why I do these lives and things like that, because a lot of people after these, they get excited. They have the ability to leave their body that night, things like that. Now, I will say though, when you're out of your body, there is no really fear, but for me, things felt weird at first. Like when I was out, I would see something like an example. I would see my ex-partner. I'd see her just sleeping on the bed, and that would freak me out because I'm like, oh, I can't talk to her. Like, oh, I'm out of my body. And it was just like so strange because your thoughts go with you. So it feels like you're here and alive right now, but you're not. And like, I just knew I couldn't talk to her even if I wanted to. So like that freaked me out, and I came right back. Another time, my first time seeing a seeing her doing something in the future. That freaked me out. I was like, yo, I shouldn't be seeing this. Like, but then after a while, it becomes normal. After a while, it becomes normal and things like that. So I will say, when you're first out and you're seeing stuff, it is a different and strange feeling. Like you can be out, even if you're in your neighbor's yard, seeing their kids playing or something, and like it's a weird sensation. Like you guys can't see me, but I can see. Like it's a crazy sensation. So it takes time to even get used to that for a lot of people. For me, it did. Yeah, I will say that. If we leave the body every night, why is it bad to have an OBE every night? And is it the same for lucid dreaming? Okay, so it's not bad to have an OBE every night. It's not bad. But you can have an OBE every day, 3, 4, 5 times a day, and just be around realm 1 and be completely fine. Be completely fine. You're not going to have this frying out effect. You're not going to have anything. But where that comes in is when you leave here and you have a big experience, or you get a lot of information, or you're in a very heightened frequency, and then you bring your soul's frequency back to the body, and now your soul's frequency is feeling the body, that you will have a frying effect there. Like that will fry you out. But if you're just leaving your body and around realm 1 and things like that, it's not going to affect you at all. But once you cross a certain threshold in another frequency band and you bring that back, that will like fry you out. When you have a big experience, that will be a little like you'll just feel it, and you can't do that too often. Like you just can't. Like sometimes when I come back from a big experience, I can't even sleep for 2 or 3 days. So like I'm not, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. But when you're just having a little experience or something like that, it's totally fine. In lucid dreaming, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's when you leave somewhere and you get a lot of information, or you cross a frequency threshold. In that moment, now you're bringing all of that information back. You see, now you're doing a bunch of things. Like now you'll feel it, and it's not bad to leave your body every night. You'll just feel it. If it feels like you're tired or drained out, don't try it. Let your body come back and heal. Yeah, it's nothing to be afraid of or anything like that. Do you believe that you really have to censor what content or entertainment you are consuming, or is it more so your interpretation of what you're observing? I like watching scary movies and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it has to do with what your intention is. You see, if your intention is to be extremely focused here and manifest or create something, stay in a heightened frequency. Don't watch anything. Or if your intention is to leave your body and go to the other side, block out everything that keeps you here, that puts you in a matrix mindset. Like don't watch the news. Don't watch. I wasn't even watching like movies that were like had human storylines in it, because every human relationship and things like that, it's honestly kind of weird, and it puts you back in a human state of mind. So like when I was trying to leave my body, quite often I wasn't doing any of that. You see, like I just stayed in the other side mindset. If you like watching scary movies and stuff, I mean, sure, go ahead. Who am I to tell you not to? But I wouldn't. If you're trying to leave your body and stuff, hell no. You'll see that outside of your body. Like it will come. Like you're dealing with your subconscious thoughts at that time. So like whatever's in your field, like it comes out like pretty instantly. So like I wouldn't do that. But if you like it, sure. And if you're not trying to leave your body actively, or if you're not trying to manifest anything, it's all about the level that you want to take it. Now, when I say these things, that is obviously the best case scenario. If you stop listening, watching narratives here, if you're trying to leave your body and you block out everything here, I know this may be hard for you guys to understand, but even a movie about relationships or something like that, it puts you in a human state of mind. You see, like, and it's not really how it is on the other side. So like when you're trying to free your mind and stuff, I don't even watch that, man. It's just different. You got to free your mind, and it makes it so much easier. to leave and do so. But yeah, 100% everything is frequency. What you're observing definitely has an effect on you. It definitely has an effect on you. I've seen the differences. I've seen the differences from when I was doing these things to when I wasn't. It has a dramatic impact on you. You're able to manifest so much easier. You're able to do everything so much easier. Stay in a heightened state so much easier. Everything is frequency. So like if you're trying to accomplish something here, only watch things that pertain to what you're trying to accomplish until you accomplish it. You see, that gets you in that frequency all the time, and it's easier for it to come into your life. Everything is frequency for sure. So like I wouldn't do that, but if that's what you like to do, go ahead. To each their own, my friend. What have you discovered regarding the sun and moon, regarding their functions in this realm? I covered that pretty much in the mechanics presentation. I even have a video with Flat Earth Dave on my YouTube channel talking about that. And if you want the full details on that particularly, there's a whole presentation on that called The Mechanics Part 1 and Beyond the Veil, my friend. I hope that helps. Can I connect with my Passover cats when having an OBE? Yeah, of course. 100%. Yeah. I mean, are they always going to be available or something like that? No, but, they're there. Yeah, they didn't go anywhere. You can connect with them, And I would do it the same way. So I just did a presentation on contacting deceased loved ones. That's in Beyond the Veil too. I would use those same techniques to contact your cat or anything. Yeah, it's all the same. They all have souls. They all live on. What are the steps to enter sleep paralysis and leave your body? I had sleep paralysis twice, but felt fear because I didn't know what it was. Do I have to stay calm and trust the whole process? Yeah, you just stay calm. Lay still, don't move. Sleep paralysis will kick in, and stay calm throughout that. I just did a presentation that's going to be on my website tomorrow, or that I'm doing tomorrow, that goes into it exactly, and that's what we'll be inducing to leave during the day. Now, there's many techniques, and let me say this: sleep paralysis is not required to have an out-of-body experience. It is not required. It is a gateway. It is one of the ways that you can leave, but it is not required, and it is not the only way. Now, you can. So yeah, and I'm going over the whole thing, like what I do, how I leave, and it takes me like 40 to 60 minutes every time. Well, one time it took me like 2 hours. I did it 5 times in the last 2 weeks. Leaving during the day, shut my body down consciously. 4 of the 5 times I seen success. The 5th time I didn't see success because I got up and went to go to the bathroom after 40 minutes because I had to go pee. Now, every other time I had success. In 3 of the 4 times, it was in an hour or less. 1 of the 4 times, it took me 2 hours. I go through exactly what I did to do so. But yeah, I hope that helps, my friend. Did I stop wearing my gold intentionally? No, man, I'm just a lot more free, and stuff like that. It's just, as you grow and you develop, it's just not necessary. I still like gold and stuff. It's just that's not really the image I'm trying to put out to people, and things like that, being flashy or nothing like that. It's just, it is what it is. For a long time, man, I didn't care about how I physically looked here at all. Like I was just growing my shit out, letting my beard look crazy. Like you just go through phases, man, where you just don't care. Even now, like I wear this shit like every day, man. It's just comfortable. It's just nice, No reason for anything other than that, just be your natural self. But no, it wasn't necessarily intentionally. It's not like I have an issue against gold or anything. I actually like gold. Gold is a very common theme throughout this whole construct. It is good and pleasant. It has its benefits. Pure gold. Everything here is a dumbed down version, but pure gold. Yeah. Hey man, I wanted to get out of my body. Do you have any advice on how I can get out of my body easier? Because I've been trying to focus myself out my body, but it's not that easy. Yeah, just relax. There's many different techniques, guys. There's so many different ways to do so. You just have to find what works for you. There's so many ways and techniques to do so. An easy way is to just go to sleep, imagining your soul leaving your body, and then just go to sleep, and you'll wake up and feel that sensation. It's hard to get into these things in lives because I want to give people the best context and things like that. I will do a video explaining that whole process. Like, that's probably the easiest way I found to leave my body, and that's something that everybody can do tonight. And I'll get into detail on that probably in a future video. I'll probably just put that on YouTube. It's very easy, simple for everybody to do. Is realm one dimensional C just for those who passed away from this physical world, or can you incarnate there? Yeah, they're not really incarnated there. Realm one dimension C, you're not really gonna be incarnated. This is the only realm and dimension like where you're gonna be incarnated like that. Like, this is the base dimension in this realm that we are in now. You see, there's other dimensions and things, but you're not gonna be incarnated there. This is the base realm and dimension for this one. So this is where you'll be incarnated. But after that, they're living like regular lives, though. I'm telling you. But they're in soul form. They're living, and it's different everywhere. Like, China has its own like little place where you're gonna do things like China does it. Like, it's yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, this is the only place where you're actually gonna incarnate for sure. Is it possible to connect with my Passover cats when having an OBE? Will they be in cat form or their true spirit form? It depends. It depends. They can be in cat form. They can be in their true spirit form too. More often than not, though, they're going to present themselves in a way that you're comfortable with, in a way that you like it. And this is well known, actually. I was just watching some movie the other day, and this guy was like, "Are you real, or are you my guardian angel disguised as somebody that's comfortable for me to see?" Like, like what? That's exactly what it is. Like, they can present themselves to you in a way that's comfortable for you to see. So it does. It depends. It depends. More often than not, I'd say they probably would present themselves in cat form, especially if you're new to leaving your body or something like that. That's probably how they would present themselves to you. Oh, yeah. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I try to do my best to answer these questions with clarity and things to help you guys get a grasp and an understanding, because particularly when you're leaving your body, it it helps to have as much information and as much background knowledge and way of thinking as possible. It truly does, because when I was leaving my body, I was like, I don't know anything. So it truly helps. It truly helps. I don't really want to answer questions about that. That's somebody else's thing. Is Pluto a planet? I don't know. It's not a planet the way that you would think of it as a planet. None of the planets are. Like, Mars is not a physical, like Mars, the what you see in the sky, that's not a physical place. You see, it's not. I know people may think it is, but it's not. You know, why do you think all the planets are gas giants, right? Because when you look at them through a telescope, they look see-through. You see, they're just light in the firmament. They actually look see-through. So science says they're gas giants. You know, get out of here with that now. So Pluto is not going to be a physical planet that you can go to. It's not. But is it considered a planet? In the same, does it have the same function as other planets? Yeah, of course, because it's not a star. You see, it's a planet. It has a different revolution in the night sky, so it's that similar of a planet. So I would imagine it has the same function as a planet. I don't know specifically, but you know, putting things together, I would imagine that it has the same functionality that, you know, a planet has. Am I able to activate my 12 strands of DNA and heal my own physical body while having an OBE? Thank you. Yeah, for sure. For sure you can. Now, it's not going to be like you're just out of your body and then come back and all of a sudden all of your 12 DNA strands are activated, right? It's not going to be like that. But you can certainly come back. You can certainly come back and have an experience. So this can happen in many different ways, right? You can go to the other side and literally remember something or get told some information and then come back and activate that in the physical. Or you can come back and just have your soul be in a heightened frequency. And then when you come back, your soul's now just filling the body and certain things will activate within it. It certainly can. Now, the particulars of how the DNA works and things like that, I don't really know. I never really looked into too much about DNA and things like that, but for sure, your abilities can come on and you can begin doing things like seeing more of the light spectrum here in the physical. Telepathy becomes like super easy. Like you're going to be seeing the other side and future events like all the time. Like you're going to be like a psychic. At least for me, that's how it is. Now, other things, and you can heal your physical body 100%. You can heal your physical body even if you don't leave your body. The will of your soul has the power to heal your body right now. If you rewire your thoughts to the point where you believe anything is possible, I mean, beyond a shadow of a doubt, if you rewire your thoughts to the point where you truly believe anything is possible and you want something and you focus on it hard enough, you can heal your body here now in the physical without leaving your body, without doing anything. That is how powerful we truly are. And I promise you this. I guarantee this. You see? And like this is just what we do. We're so powerful. We're just made here to forget so much. So, but you know, and limiting beliefs. Like if I told you right now that you could fly, you probably would try, but deep down you believe you can't because gravity and all these other things like that, you know, even for me, you know, the belief plays a deep role in it. Now, but when you do leave your body, things are extremely easy because now you're outside of this physical body. Now you're in the other side, in your soul form, in your eternal aspect. You can 100% heal your, if that's your intention, can 100% heal yourself. And you can just do it naturally. Like I've left my body so much and came back in my soul's frequency and my soul's frequency and things like that. I came back so much. I've healed my physical body. Like I've died 3 times and came back to life, you know, in my younger days. And I just went to this Balinese healer and he's like, yo, you have a perfect heart. You have a perfect, like everything. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy, you know? Oh, thank you, Mario. I appreciate that. I see that just came through. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. Truly. Truly. Hey guys, welcome. But yeah, guys, if you guys could just give me a minute. That's like 7 in the morning. I've had like 2 cups of coffee. Yeah, thank you, Mario. I appreciate that, my guys. Good to see you in here, man. I love seeing you guys here and being consistent and things like that. It's truly an honor, and you guys are the reasons why I keep doing it. So, you know, thank you. Shout out to you, man, for being consistent, putting in the work, you know, being consistent, elevating your frequency every day. You know, shout out to you. Well, yeah, if you guys could just give me a minute, I just have to run to the bathroom, and I'll be right back, and we'll continue this thing. All right. So just give me one moment. All right, welcome back, guys. Sorry about that. I just had to do a couple things and use the bathroom, but we're back. Thank you guys for being here, and let's continue raising the frequency and speaking about the other side. These things are so important because every day around us, every day, what are we're thrown with different things coming into our field. Everything is frequency, energy, and vibration. And when you hear the truth, it resonates and it wakes up and activates something inside of you. So talks like these are very important to raise the frequency. So yeah, let's get back to it. OBE. I had an OBE. I looked like myself, but kind of scary. Why? Also, I couldn't get back in my body at first. And then when I panicked, I got back in. All right. Yeah. So there's tons of gray areas in this. You look like yourself, but kind of scary, probably because you were viewing yourself as if you were sleeping. This is one of the things that can happen. Nothing's really concrete and set in stone, but this is just one of the things that can happen. Okay. And don't be afraid, and don't try to think too logically about these things. Okay. Don't say how or anything, right? It just is. Okay. It just is. The how, the reasons, the logic behind stuff that exists here on earth. That's the way humans think. They see a big mountain and they're like, oh, how did that get there? And then they come up with all these theories and ideas. Really, it's just a cut down tree, you see. But so one time when I was out of my body, for this particular time, I was up all night on the phone. I was up all night on the phone talking to somebody about out of body experiences. This was like maybe a year and a half ago, up all night talking on the phone about the other side, out of body experiences. I go to sleep instantly. As soon as I go to sleep, I wake up in sleep paralysis and I'm like, oh, bet I'm out, right? Pull myself out. Now, the whole time I'm out, it's very strong. Like I was in sleep paralysis, my breathing was really heavy, and I felt that out of my body because my consciousness was not fully there. I was like in between, right? Trying to break the field so I can be 100% in my soul. And I'm walking heavy. It's so hard for me to walk. Boom. I'm walking. And I'm like, man, I got to break this. So I go to my bathroom. I'm like, oh, I'm about to just go through my mirror and be out, right? But before I went through my mirror, I looked at myself and I looked crazy. And it was because I was viewing myself from sleeping. But I had a whole new outfit on. But I'm looking at myself in the mirror and it's like I look like this, like crazy, like sleeping, you know? And then I go through my mirror and I'm instantly back in my body. I was like, well, damn, that didn't work. But yeah, and you couldn't get back in your body at first. And then when you panicked, you got back in. Yeah, because you were trying to get back in your body, but the panic is what really set it off. It's like, that's when you really were like, okay, I got to get back in. And then boom, you went back in. So, it doesn't, some things do take a little bit more concentration to happen. Like it's the same concept as if you're trying to go somewhere. A lot of people say, oh, I commanded to go to the halls of Amenti, but I never got there. Well, did you really command it? Did you really put a lot of effort into it? Probably not. You probably were just thinking about going back to your body or trying to. You probably just didn't put a lot of effort in. And then, but when you panic, that's like, okay, now it's happening now. And then you went back in your body, it could be something like that. This is just, am I lagging? Oh, here we go. All right. It's just a possibility. If it doesn't resonate with you, throw it out. But that's a possibility. I hope that helps you. If we are here to experience what we are not, on the other side, we remain the same personality. What happened to the negative emotions or actions? Okay, so I understand this a little bit, but to fully understand this, okay. So back. I'm hardwired in, so my connection should be stable. Oh, all right. Am I back? Yeah, I'm hardwired in, so my connection should be stable. So I apologize for the lagging. I am in Bali. Wi-Fi is not the best, but so to fully understand this, all right. So yes, when you cross over, and everything is not black and white. There's gray areas here too. So just try to. And am I lagging again? Hold on. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me or see me, but I froze on my screen. All right. I just connected my Wi-Fi, so even if this goes out, we should still be good. So my apologies for that. My apologies for that again, guys. All right. So now all right. So yes, we are here to temporarily experience that of which we are not. We come here, we're in the veil of forgetfulness. Our memory is completely wiped. We have to remember who we are again. That is one. Another thing, we have a physical body. These physical bodies can get hurt, touched, killed. Right now, we actually age, and die. And death is a thing here that we experience, right? Sickness, pain, pleasure as well. All of these things, right? Now, you remain the same personality, right? It's like when you leave, you're the same, but now you don't. Now you no longer have to operate in forgetfulness. Your full memory returns, and we all come from source. We all come from love. So when your memory returns, you're just going to be operating in that frequency all the time. Your negative emotions or actions, they don't really go away. You can still feel pain and sorrow on the other side as well. And it's actually even worse because everything's exaggerated. It's just that's why healing is so important. Like doing inner work, healing, clearing your field, making sure every intention behind every action makes you feel good, right? When you're at peace with yourself, it. We all understand the feeling of being at peace with yourself. You see, and that will heal you. And on the other side, now, when you're on the other side, your personality is essentially going to be the same, but it's just the same with all of your memory back, for one. And for two, you're outside of the physical limitations of the body. So you're a lot more free. You're not carrying as much pain and sorrows. It's just like the underlying theme of you is the same. But like a lot of the things that you picked up here specifically from this life aren't really there. Like here, we operate on beliefs and stories that we tell ourselves every day. If I ask you who you are in your mind, when you're walking around every day, you may be Angelica from Charlotte, North Carolina, for an example, right? That's a narrative that you're telling yourself. You may work as a nurse, right? These are things that you're operating in. So that also has an effect on your identity here, you see? But when you're outside, none of that is true. You're just an eternal soul, the eternal aspect of yourself. So now you're returning back to the much larger picture of you. But like a lot of your tendencies and things do stay the same. It's just like without the conditioning that you picked up here on Earth. It's kind of hard to explain these topics, but I hope that kind of helps you understand that a little bit. Um, yeah, that's the best way I can explain it. I used to wake up to sleep paralysis, but then see red infrared beams in my room. What do you think that is? I don't know, my friend. But one thing I can say for sure, when you're in sleep paralysis, the veil is gone. The veil is gone. You're just still in your physical body. You can't really move yet. But the veil is gone. So you're going to begin to see things. Now, so I will say another thing. When I'm practicing, sometimes even before I'm in sleep paralysis, I'll see huge flashes of light in my eyes. Like just boom, like huge. And I have no idea what they are. Could just be me raising my frequency. Could be a being coming in. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to it. I'm just like, I don't know what it is, but I'm just gonna keep going with it. You know, I remember at first too. I used to overanalyze every sensation. Like, oh, I heard a loud boom. What is that? Or I seen this. What is that? Or I felt this. What is that? Just go with it, guys. You'll feel and see all types of things, especially when you're in between the two worlds, especially when you are in between this world and the other side, like in sleep paralysis, the vibrational phase or things like that. You'll be picking up on different frequencies, seeing different things, and it's all types of things. But once you're fully over there, that would be my best response to that, is actually get out in soul form and then see what it is. Because oftentimes everything is on the light spectrum, you see, and everything is correlated to frequency, right? So as you're leaving, your frequency is beginning to rise. Think of it as like a radio. So you're picking up on certain signals. What can these certain signals materialize as? These certain signals can materialize as weird sounds. They can also materialize as weird images and things, because you're tuning your frequency. So you're beginning to hear and see different things until eventually you're in the frequency of the other side of your soul, and then you're out, and now you can see things for what they really are. That's kind of my best explanation for that. So the red infrared beams could be anything, man. It could be anything. I don't particularly know, but my best advice for you would be to continue the process and get out and figure out what it is for yourself. I hope that helps, my friend. Hey, what is the difference between conscious and conscience? Well, conscious is your consciousness, your awareness. Conscience is like how you feel, like if you feel bad about it, like it's like your feelings behind it, like your subconscious feelings. I guess that would be my best answer for that. I hope that helps. Do animals have souls? Do they choose to incarnate into this realm as animals? Yeah, they have souls. And you know this, once you leave your body, you'll see your dog, see your cat. Yeah, they have souls. And yeah, they choose to incarnate into this realm as animals too. I don't have any particular memories of me being an animal in this realm per se. I have been other beings and stuff, but like I was always like an intelligent being. Like I never was here and was just like a dog or a cat. But I have heard a story of somebody. I forget who it was, but he said he remembered a past life of him being a dog, and that he actually learned a lot from that life as a dog. So it is beneficial. I don't know what type of experience or lessons you can learn from it, but it is beneficial. Try it out one time. Try it out one time. Let me know what it's like when you're on the other side. What practice do I do to leave my body freely, and how long can you stay out of your body? I do various things. Sometimes I induce sleep paralysis consciously. That's probably the least way I leave. More often than not, I set my intention through affirmations and things and go to sleep. Sometimes I envision myself leaving and then go to sleep. There's all types of different ways. Sometimes I leave through my dreams. Sometimes I just wake up in these states. You just train yourself in many different ways. Now, how long can you stay out of your body? Yeah, and I highlight, many different ways in Beyond the Veil. Like there's so many techniques and things for you guys to do there. But how long can you stay out of your body? You can stay out of your body forever, man, forever, really. I mean, now there's two aspects to this. Realm one time, you're not going to stay out too long. So I'd say round 1 time, like Earth time, it's probably only a couple minutes tops, maybe, that you're out. It's not too long, but it can feel like when you're out, it can feel like you're there for a very long time because you're outside of time. Now, when I will say though that, like, when I'm around realm 1, which I don't stay around here too much, guys. Like, if I'm out, I'm going somewhere. Like, it's not it's weird, it's creepy. I feel like I'm spying on people. Like, I don't really like it. It just doesn't feel good within me to be out just spying on, like, it just doesn't feel right to me. So I don't really do that too much. But I will say that when I am around here, it's like I feel like I'm still in time. Like, when I come back, like, I feel like the amount of time that I was out was the same amount of time that I was in, like, Earth time. But now when I'm out and I'm somewhere else, I can be gone for what feels like hours. It feels like days. One time it felt like months. I was there for a long time. And then I came back. Um yeah, but then when you come back, only a couple minutes pass. So you're outside of time, in that aspect. You're really outside of time. And you can command to stay out as long as you want. Like, even now, sometimes when you're in an experience, you won't have no control over it, and you'll just be back in your body. But even then, you can relax and leave your body again. You can relax and then leave your body again. You see. Um, or if you feel it fading out. So, like, say you're in an out of body experience and you'll start to feel like your consciousness losing, or like, oh, you just will get this inclination that, like, oh, I think I'm about to go back to my body. Well, in that moment, you can command to stay. I've done this plenty of times. You can command to stay. Be like, no, I'm staying longer. Like, tell my body to relax. I'm staying longer. You see, that can help. Or that you can do that. Sometimes the scene will just go black, and it's like you're back in your body, and you can just command to come back out immediately from there. But yeah, you can stay out essentially as long as you want, essentially, and practice in time. Yeah. Do you think the Northern Lights, Aurora Borealis, have something to do with portals? Yeah, they do. So it has something to do with the core of the Earth and the magnetic field there. I haven't thought on this or touched on this in a long time. I think maybe I covered this in the mechanics part 1, where that is and what that comes from. I haven't thought about that in a long time. So, like, I don't want to just give you an answer, but I did look into this and I figured this out at one point, and I believe I covered it somewhere. I believe I covered it in the mechanics part 1. Yeah. But yeah, it does. It's not so much I mean, everything has to do with a portal, really. It's it's more so it has to do with the core and the energy and the field of this place. Like, there is where there is a portal there. That's where the core is. Not in the sky where the Aurora Borealis is, but like underneath it. That's like where the core is. And it's generating the field of this place. And that there's a heightened energy there. So that's what you're seeing. That's essentially like what it is. Hello. What if your soul chose not to have kids, but as a human you want kids? Can you still manifest it? Yeah, that's a gray area that, like, I don't really have an exact answer for. So, like, what I'm about to give you is just like based off of like what I know or like what I've seen, and basically just me, theorizing at this point, right here, right now. I mean, I could give you what I think it is, but like, a definitive answer for that, I don't really know. It's like a gray area. Let me see. About kids specifically, I don't know about that, but I do know I don't know about kids specifically, but I do know about the concept of when something is planned, but you come in and you don't, but when you come in and you have something planned, but you don't, but you change your mind as a human, you can certainly do that. You can certainly do that. You know, you can certainly do that. And there's levels to it too. Now, for a kid's standpoint, yeah, you can do that. If that's really what you want here in a human life, you can certainly do that. You can certainly do that. Based on what I do know and how these things work, you certainly can do that. Yeah. Can anything rob us of our divinity here, like spirit or anything? What do you necessarily mean by robbing us of our divinity? Are you talking about like your right to return back home? Are you talking about, yeah, if you're still watching, Adam, if you can clarify in the comments, I'll check that out. But yeah, I don't exactly know. Can anything like spirit could rob you of your soul or of your spirit or anything? So it's not really robbing you, but you can certainly go down rabbit holes here in belief systems and, rob yourself, and I would say this is by believing something and believing that you're not your ultimate authority, believing that you're not a divine being. You can rob yourself from that just by believing something. But can anything come and like make you do it? No, but it would be your own doing. I would say it would be your own doing by your belief systems, or here I would say that. I hope that helps answer your question, my friend. What motivates souls to incarnate to this earth? Does it benefit or expand our soul somehow? Yeah, 100%. This adds so much to your soul. This is the only experience of its kind, right? Now, why come here? If you are a God all the time, just picture God in heaven all the time. You think he's an all-knowing being, right? You would think God is all, but if he's never been a human, he doesn't know what it's like to be a human. He doesn't know what it's like to have his memory wiped yet. Because a soul, if you think of God in the Bible, like this all-knowing being, that's you outside of here. So when I say God, it's you, it's your soul, right? And from that aspect, from that level, I'm not talking about source or the creator of all thing. I'm talking about the way most people here picture God as the person that created this, is this almighty, all-knowing, singular being. That's you. That's your soul. All right. Now, if he's this all-knowing, but he's never been a human, or she's never been a human, then he doesn't even know what it's like. So all you know is what it's like to have infinite powers. You don't know what it's like to have limitations yet. You don't know what it's like to operate in forgetfulness. You see? So it adds so much to us in that aspect. Now, why come? And this is a great place. Like, this is the only place, like, so you can have real connections here. Like, you can have connections on the other side. Like, it's hard to explain these things because everybody comes from different levels of consciousness. And like, I don't want to say something and it goes over somebody's head or something like that, but relationships and things here, like this is still a great place. Like, this is still a really great place to come, and experience things. Now, why do you want to? It could be as simple as you just want to experience what it's like to be a father or be a mom. That's enough to make you want to come here. This is such a temporary experience. When you're in soul form, you're like, yeah, I'll hop in there for a quick second, play this game, and come back. I want to see what it's like to be a father or a mom on earth. Come in and have that experience. It could be as simple as that. It doesn't have to be some grand reason. This is a very temporary thing. You know, and think about it. Think about the earliest, to understand how temporary this is. Think about the earliest time of recorded history, like 14.8 billion years ago or something like that, right? Well, guess what? We exist even beyond that. We exist beyond any time. Now, the difference between, what is this, 1,000 and 1,000,000 is like 1,000. I may be incorrect, but like 1,000 seconds is like 11 minutes. Guess how much 11 a million seconds is? It's like 30 years. Now, a billion, it's even more than that, right? Now we're just going in exponents of 10. You see? So imagine from a billion to infinity. The time scale is so huge of who you are and how infinite you are. You see, you are truly the infinite. You have always been around. You are the most ancient thing in all of existence. So even from that aspect, if you're thinking in terms of linear time, coming here for a human life that's 80 years is a blink of an eye. Any measurable amount of time is going to feel like a blink of an eye to an eternal soul. So with that aspect, when you come here, it's not just come. Some people just come. You know, everybody wants to come here for an experience because this is the only one of its kind. You're going to come with so much more knowledge because now you know what it's like to interact with people in forgetfulness. Now you know what it's like to not be a god. So you come back and you respect your divinity so much more. You have such more of appreciation for where you come from, the other side, and things like that. There's this movie Bliss with Owen Wilson and Selma Hayek. That is a very good loose depiction of like what it's like being in the human world and then going back to the other side. There's a scene in the movie where he was immersed in this simulation and then he goes back to the other side, and the before and after. Before he left, he was a miserable person, and then he came to Earth, the simulation, left and went back, and his whole attitude and perspective changed. You know, it's kind of like that, guys. Like it's an amazing experience coming here, and it's very temporary. I know when you're on the other side of things and you're in this human life and in this human world. I know when you're on that side of things and thinking, it's really hard to free yourself from that. And you're like, well, how? I'm here every day. Like how is this not the real world? How? Like I understand that. Like it is. It does. I understand that. I used to think like that too, you know, but like truly, it's a very temporary experience. It really is. So when you're asking questions like what motivates souls, it can be something very, very little. And then now souls are coming here to help. Now a lot of souls are coming here to help. A lot of souls are coming here to help. They see what's going on. They see what's going on and they come here to help and wake up. But, you know, and then you come here, you're still in the valley of forgetfulness, you know. Some people set up their lives to have a traumatic event, wake them up, friends from the other side, spirit guides. It gets deep, guys. It gets deep. But, you know, now a lot of motivation comes from coming here to help end this thing, come here to witness the end, the greatest collective awareness increase in all of history, because we are the lowest humans right now. I know science mainstream will tell you, oh, we're the most advanced humans have ever been. Well, that is not a lie. We're actually the furthest down that humans have ever been, and we're about to return back to everything being open again. You see, so if we are the farthest down on a totem pole that the human race has ever been, is right here and right now, and we're about to return back. This is the greatest thing. So a lot of people come here to experience this. A lot of people come here to help with this. So yeah, I hope that helps answer your question, Angelica. Did you or do you ever feel impatient or frustrated or ever experience your mind wandering and go into imagination mode in the process of lying there in the process for hours? Do you have any tips? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you feel impatient or frustrated. The best advice I have is letting your mind wander. Enter like a daydreaming like state. Let your mind wander. Don't focus on your physical body. When you focus on your physical body, it takes your awareness to it and it slows down the whole process. You don't focus on the binaural beats, don't focus on your body, don't focus on any of that. Just let your mind wander. Do what it does. I don't care what you think about. Just don't think about leaving your body, and don't think about your body, and don't think about what's going on. Just let your mind wander, and I promise you, your body will shut down very quickly. Very quickly. I actually go over this. I'm going over this in detail tomorrow. Exactly what I'm going over this in detail tomorrow and Beyond the Veil. If you remember, check that out. I'm going over that in detail. But yeah, that's the best advice. Don't let your mind wander. You don't need to do anything here. If you're trying to induce sleep paralysis consciously or anything like that, don't focus on your body. Don't focus on the beats. Just let your mind wander. Your body's gonna shut down. We enter sleep very quickly. When you're not thinking or trying to leave your body or laying there consciously, what happens? How many times have you gone to sleep and instantly, as soon as you've gone to sleep, you've had a dream? And how do you know this? Because you may have fell asleep only for 5 or 10 minutes, but you woke up and you remembered you had a dream. That's how quick your body can shut down. And why is your body shut down that quick? Because your mind's not controlling anything. Your mind's not sitting there focusing. So the more that you can allow your mind to drift and wander in that sleep-like state, but staying aware, your physical body will shut down. You enter like a daydream. Like when I'm practicing, I enter like a daydream to the point where it's like I'm really in a dream. I'll really be in a dream, laying there still conscious, and then be out. It takes me like 40 minutes, 60 minutes. And if it takes me any longer than that, I'll just be like, oh, all right, I'll just try another day. But yeah, more often than that, it takes me like 40, 60 minutes. And I document the whole process. I've been doing this for like, I did this 5 times in the last 2 weeks, and I've documented the entire process. And I'll be going over that tomorrow in Beyond the Veil. Yeah. Is it possible to have an OBE even as we listen to this live broadcast? Yeah, man. If you're just sitting there relaxing, throw it on. My man 𝗕𝗲𝗪 said that. He was like, bro, I was listening to your live the other day and I was drifting in and out, popping out. Yeah, you can do that. It's just about where you are, for sure. You can certainly do that. If you're able to relax and shut your mind off enough and think about it, yeah, you can certainly do that. I know somebody that has. Yeah. Can you create your own world realm when having an OBE, or can you only do that when completely leave Earth? Yeah, so this is a good question. Dark Rise 1570. So what's the significance of 1570? That's not like a bird. Like what is 1570? Curious. But can you create your own? Yeah, so 100%. So it's not gonna be a realm, but you can create your own dimensional space. And when I say a dimensional space can be as big as like a whole realm. It can be like as big as a whole realm. Like it certainly can. And that's what we do. Actually, in like heaven, there's many different sections and dimensional spaces that people create. You can create your own kingdom of heaven. You can certainly do all of that. You can. And now outside of here, you can do your whole universe or something like that. Yeah, you certainly can. All right, Prop. We have some super chats. I don't think we hit on. Somebody just went away. Big AI, Big L66. Sorry, Big L. We missed this, but I'll get to it now. When you restrict yourself from watching television, movies, etc., does that include music? Yeah. what types of music do you recommend? Because I listen to all of it. And lastly, we appreciate you. I appreciate you guys, man. Like the fact that you guys are here listening and trying to do this, it shows me that the collective is moving in a direction where this stuff is important and more people are waking up and the great work is going on. Like this stuff is very like, thank you guys for being here. It's all you, and we all need to wake up together. We're all doing this together. You see, it's not a one man's job. It's not. We're all doing this together. We're all here in forgetfulness, trying to work our way back to remembrance, for sure. So, So when I'm focusing now, am I like this all the time? No, I go through certain stages and things like that. But when I'm focusing, trying to, when I was first trying to leave my body, for an example, I was so focused. I didn't listen to any music. Everything is frequency and vibration. I did not watch any television. The only thing that I would watch was YouTube because I could control what I seen. When you are intentional about what you want to do or what you want to create here, get intentional about it. Okay, everything's frequency and energy and vibration. What else is frequency? Well, media, entertainment, music is certainly frequency. I stopped listening to rap. I stopped listening to all that. The only music I would listen to when I was focused was frequency music. So like and at this time I was just like on YouTube searching like 888 frequency, 432 hertz frequency music if I wanted to listen to something. But more often than not, I would actually even just listen to binaural beats, man. Like I'd listen to 4 hertz delta binaural beats and just get into a deep meditative state and working in waking life. Like, when you really want to do something or create something, you do it. You just do it, man. But then I will say, I still like rap and hip hop too. Like, I definitely grew up in that. It's definitely a part of me. But for a long time, I would only listen to Russ, this guy Russ. He's tapped in. He talks about the universe. He talks about, stuff like that. So I would listen to him, manifestation and things like that when I would listen to something, and just get intentional. If you guys are trying to manifest something in your life or trying to achieve the out-of-body experience, what makes all of that 100% easier is being in your own frequency, blocking out all of these things. Like, how bad do you want it? And in every moment of every day, do you want it bad enough? Okay, if you're trying to manifest something, at every moment of every day, this is what I mean. If you want to manifest something, do you want to achieve your goal or do you want to listen to music? At every moment of every day, what do you want to do? Do you want to achieve your goal or do you want to watch this movie on Netflix? Every moment of every day. If you stay locked in on achieving your goal, it will happen very quickly. You see, and this is things that I was doing before I ever left my body. I was locked in, changing my whole life around in like 6 months. Very locked in. So yeah, if you want to lock in and achieve something here and do great things, block everything out. Is it necessary? No, but it certainly helps. All right. Prop, I know we have another one. Yeah. How do you explain you are creating your own reality? What does that look like on an individual level? Okay. Yeah. So this is a good question. You are creating your own reality. You are. So on an individual level, in this life, in a human life, or like on the other side, if you're talking about creating your own reality here, in this life, what does that look like? Okay, you create your reality. What you experience every day is a direct reflection of you. When you interact with somebody, you have to understand that your perception of what just happened or that interaction is more than likely based off of a perception of you, how you perceive things. Like if somebody's talking to you and you perceive something a certain way, that's because you have a preconceived notion or expectation of what that is, when in all actuality it's not that. So you create your own reality is like that. Another example of this is if you're thinking about a red car all the time, Or if you think of a red car, all of a sudden you're outside, you'll see a whole bunch of red cars. You know, that's another practical example that we can say. Now, when I also say you're creating your reality all the time, your thoughts are really creating your reality. So you can, this can be in a manifestation way, where if you want a life, a certain thing to happen, event, a lifestyle, all right, your thoughts are going to create that reality. And if you change your inner world enough, your outer world has to reflect that. That's just one of the laws of the universe. You see? So you're creating your own reality in many, many different ways. You're in control of your state of being all day, every day. Perception is reality here. So how you perceive things is honestly how your reality will be. You see, two people can be in the same situation and see different things. You know, there's many different levels that we can take this to. You are creating your own reality. There's many different levels that we can take this. But I hope that answered your question, my friend. I hope, like, you're creating your reality at every step of the way, every instance, every step of the way. I hope that helps, my friend. The shift to fifth density. Are we going to align with it, or are we creating it? Are they waiting for us to shift? What's going on with ascension? So, all right. So these terms and things like that, this is really like some new age stuff. Like, I just did that video to, like, all right, what are they talking about? 5D Earth. It's just a state of being. It's just a raised frequency. It's not like an actual place. Like, fifth density is just a state of being. You see, it's not like an actual place. So once you're getting to this state of being, your more frequencies able to open up to you. You see, it's not like it's just a state of being, and more things will open up to it. And ascension, there's nowhere for you to go. You already are eternal. You already are everything. It's just shifting your state of being and remembering who you truly are. There's nowhere to ascend to. You already are the infinite. You know, so that idea and concept of ascension, or needing to get somewhere, or needing to do something, you don't need to do any of that. You already are everything. You just have to remember. And like, if you shift your state of being, your perception of the world, and step out of the matrix reality, I mean, that's really all you need to do, is open up your mind, free yourself from all limiting beliefs, understand that you're your ultimate authority, perceive reality in a positive light rather than a negative one, understand that you're creating your reality. You know, that's basically, I mean, all the ascension that you need to do. You know, it's not like you need to ascend to Christ consciousness or any of that. No, you don't need to do that. You just need to raise your vibration a little bit, you know, to, like, wake up. You know, that's something that you need to do. But, and understanding this is a game, all the rules and policies here are made up, money's made up. It's just like, you know, all of these things, man. But that's really like the best way I can describe ascension, or like what needs to happen. But it doesn't even need, more people just need to wake up. And then once we wake up, it's going to hit us, because if it hits us all now, it's going to fry people out. You see, if everybody just woke up to the truth all of a sudden, it's going to fry them out, especially in the physical body. If they're sitting there watching TV and the news and feeding their dog and eating hot dogs in the park and just like here living their life, and then all of a sudden they see an angel, like, it's going to freak some people out. You see, it's going to fry them out. You can't have that. Another aspect of this is we are all our own ultimate authority too. So like, if you're not open to that, and if you are stuck here, you're creating your own self-imposed prisons. And this is a collective and shared reality. So we all kind of have to be open to the idea of, hey, this place is changing as well. It's another aspect of it. This topic is really kind of big and hard to grasp. There's so many angles to touch on, and there's so many levels to take it to. You see, I try to do my best to reach people where they are, but I hope that kind of understands. So it's not, don't think like, and the way other people talk about it, like a new earth, don't think about it like that. It's not like that. But yes, people do need to wake up to it, though. I will say that. And what does that look like? It just looks like, okay, the other side is real. This is not base reality. I exist outside of here. Okay. It's about it. It's really not that, it's really not that much. I mean, but it is a lot. Well, like when you're in the, like from where I am now to where I was 5-10 years ago, a huge change. If somebody was telling me these things 10 years ago, I'd be like, what are you talking about? 5 years ago, I would have been a little receptive to it, curious, starting to wonder, right? So there's levels to it in that aspect, but it's just like states of being and levels of consciousness, and it's not as great as people make it seem. Like Christ consciousness is not as great or as such a hard feat to even enter as much as possible. You can have one out of body experience and come back and have Christ consciousness for several days after I've done it, or how they define it. Like I've actually experienced that for days at a time, not forever. It's hard to stay there, but yeah, you can have an out of body experience and experience that anytime, but yeah, I hope that helps you understand that. I hope I answered that question good for you. My mother is a devoted Christian. If she believes that she's going to heaven after she dies, is that a temporary reality for her, or does her soul truly go there for eternity? Yeah, so it's not for eternity. No, that's not happening. No, nothing's going to last for eternity on the other side. The only thing that's going to last for eternity is your existence. You see, so even if she believes, she's not going to go there for all of eternity. Eventually, people wake up to the truth, And when I say, you can temporarily create that reality, it really is temporary. Like it can feel in the moment, man. It can feel like forever. But then as soon as it's over, it's like, wow, that was really quick. Like, whew, thank God I'm over with that. Like, damn. So even if you're temporarily creating something for yourself, don't even fear that, because even that's temporary. It's all okay. But no, your soul wouldn't go there for eternity. Nothing's eternal. Eventually, everybody wakes up to the truth. Like you're not going to still be in forgetfulness forever on the other side. If you're really caged in and blocked off to the other side, sure, you can, this is where the concept of lost, wandering souls come in, and things like that do exist. People just are like blocked in. If they can't grasp the concept that they died, they still want to be on earth and things like that. Yeah, it happens, but it's not forever. Eventually, everybody returns back to the truth. Eventually, everybody here, every soul in all of creation that ever came to earth in forgetfulness will eventually wake up to the truth that we are in a creation, that you are your ultimate authority. We all return back to love and power on the other side. That's the ultimate truth. And at the end of the day, that's where we all return back to. All of us. Every single last one of us returns back to it. Nobody is excluded. You see? Yeah, so I hope that helps. Welcome back. What are some videos that we can watch so that we can leave our body? My partner Lova just did a video on her channel where she talks about how she leaves her body. And that's actually like the way that I was doing it too for a long time. You lay still, for a little bit. Once you start feeling the sensations, you roll over, go to sleep, you'll be leaving your body. But yeah, she breaks it down pretty good in that one, if you guys want to check that out. Other than that, I don't know. I honestly, like, Beyond the Veil, man, like I got like over 50 hours of material there, like it's a lot of stuff there for you guys, and it's going to keep growing. So like, I would say that's probably the best resource that I know of personally, where like I'm covering like every way that I've ever left, things I've done on the other side, how I got there. Like I give you guys a lot of tools. So that's that. But one that you guys can just watch on YouTube or something like that, I'd say my partner Lova, she just did a video where she described her process. And that's just one technique, you know, try it out. Maybe it will work for you, you know, maybe not, but, you know, find what works for you. Even some testimonials that I do, they talk about how they leave. You know, you can watch that. Yeah. Some of the lives I talk about how to leave. Yeah. You can I mean, if you want, you can certainly piece it together with the information that's here and leave your body that way. Yeah. But I would honestly say the best thing is to like find somebody that's done this and learn from them. You know, all the techniques, what work for them and what they figured out, because, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot to it. It's a lot to it. You know, I would probably say that's the best. Have you explored ways to be in realm 1, dimension A here and connect, invite those who's passed over and are in the heavenly realm? Is it possible to connect from here without an OBE? Yeah. Yeah, like, you're not gonna see, like, I haven't been able to, like, see them here in realm 1, like, have a soul literally be here. I haven't seen that yet, but, yeah, I've connected with my mom here in the physical, and I went over how I did that in, Contacting Deceased Loved Ones presentation. I actually outlined that pretty detailed in that one. I hope that helps with your question. I hope that answers it. If you're talking about like them materializing here, I haven't necessarily seen that because the frequency difference is too off. It's too high. So like materializing here, they probably would appear like a ghost or something like that. They probably wouldn't appear because they're on that side of the light spectrum. So they probably wouldn't appear completely physical to you. But yeah, you can certainly connect with you. The other side is here now and available to each and every one of us. You don't need to leave your body to access it. You can access it here in the physical, but you know, the out of body state is the most direct way to do so because now you're really there. When you're receiving messages from spirit guides or seeing things, it can be distorted. One, because the message that they're telling you is high level information and you're perceiving it with your human brain. That's going to limit it for one. And then your perception of it's going to be off because you're in your human life and you're not, it's off. All right. When you're channeling and doing things, it's off completely from the whole truth. It's off a little bit. But yeah, when you're the most direct way, I would say, is the out of body experience. Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts when someone is far from love, then cross to the other side? Would he be wiser, sad, regrets, more humble? Something else will happen to him? When someone is far from love, there's many different instances from this. Like, this can be in so many different ways. This is why getting to the core ultimate truth of things is the best way to answer these questions, because then you can apply this one core truth to everything. So the core truth of it is, when you cross over at one point or a time, we all return back to the eternal aspect of ourself and in the frequency of unconditional love at one point or another. That is the ultimate truth. Now, the path to get there can differ, and it's not going to be the same for everybody. But initially, another core truth is once you leave here, you see things from a broader perspective. This is another core truth. And, you know, apply this to this answer. Once you leave here, you have a broader perspective of everything, even immediately, even before all of your soul's memory returns. You have a much broader perspective on reality. You now are like, wow, I exist outside of there, more freedom. You're wiser in that aspect. So yeah, now sad and regrets. Yeah, if you lived a life of full harm and pain, you're going to have a lot of sadness and regret in you. Yeah, like, damn, why did I do that in there? Like, oh, it's going to weigh heavy on your soul, because at the end of the day, every soul wants to be good. Nobody wants to inflict pain. That's not where we come from. That's not our core. That concept really came in here in duality and in forgetfulness, you know, the concept of evil or It only exists here. So like at our core, that's not who we are. So yeah, you're going to feel immense pain and regret. If you came here and did some horrible things, immense pain and regret. And we all are more humble when we turn back to the other side. We all understand and appreciate our divinity so much more. And it's like you're being born again. Like they talk about being born again in religion and shit. Have an out-of-body experience, or when you cross over to the other side, that's like being born again. That's the real being born again. It's like wow. Whew. It's like I'm alive. It's a crazy thing. But yeah, I do have a video coming out that touches on this as well. It's like heaven is real, but does everybody get there? And I do touch on this in a little bit more detail, like the process of people that do harm to people and what that really looks like, and the concept of unconditional love and how that's really applied. I think that would be a good video to shed some light on this particular topic. That's coming out in a few days. So I hope that helps you, my friend. I hope that helps. My struggle is getting out of my body. How do I get myself out of my body? What are some good techniques, guys? I've covered this a lot. There's tons of great techniques. I've covered this a lot. I don't like repeating too many questions, but I understand if you're struggling. I truly understand. But there's a lot. Go back, listen to it. You can induce sleep paralysis consciously. You can just set your intention to leave your body. You can just think about leaving your body and leave. There's tons of ways. There's tons of ways, and I highlight all of them in every way that I've left in a lot of detail and beyond the veil. Everything that you need is there. Everything that you need is there. And that's kind of why I created it, was to, so we can continue evolving and not, repeating information and things like that. But yeah, I hope that helps. Not to be, like I'm disregarding your question. I understand is if you're struggling getting out of your body, I understand, but I have resources for that, so check them out. I'm afraid of accessing my power because of intrusive thoughts. If you manifest instantly, what happens if you have intrusive bad thoughts? Yeah, that happens. And an example of this, I actually just covered this too, in Beyond the Veil, leaving through the dream state. When you're in the other side and your thoughts are manifesting instantly, intrusive thoughts do come in. Like an example of this is, I was very lucid. I was 100% there in physical, and I was controlling some people, moving my hand, waving them like Neo in the Matrix type action, and then they actually became zombies because I had a quick thought. Something must have triggered my subconscious thought to be like, oh, what happens if they were zombies? And then they became zombies, like very quickly. But it's nothing to be afraid of, And honestly, that stuff only happens like in like realm, like these lower realms. Like once you get out of here in these higher realms, like fear does not exist. It's not even an emotion that you can feel. Like fear is not even an emotion that you can feel outside of these lower realms. It's not. I promise you. Once you get into these higher realms and things, and fear is not even it's not even an emotion. I don't even know if it exists. It might, but I certainly haven't felt it. Like it's not, you're going to be in such a heightened state. When you're in realm 1 moving around, sure, that's where your thoughts can manifest instantly and, watch out and things like that and have your thoughts in control. But once you're outside of that, man, as soon as you leave realm 1 and somewhere else, you're going to be in such a heightened frequency and a heightened state of being. Your thoughts will not matter at all. Like it will be okay. It will be okay. It will be okay. So don't worry about that. Of course, when you're around realm 1, things can happen. It's a realm of duality, good and evil is playing out, and fear certainly does exist here. Still, even out of your body, you can still operate in fear in realm 1 dimension, in around the earthly realm. You can. just to be completely transparent. But once you get out of there and you leave round one, fear does not exist. You're in such a heightened state of bliss, a heightened frequency. Fear or intrusive thoughts, like, they just don't come in. Everything is just great instantly, and it's hard to explain, but like, I promise you, once you leave here, everything is great. Like, you just instantly feel better. Like, if you can imagine the happiest you've ever been ever in your life, that's what it's going to feel like as soon as you leave here. So intrusive thoughts won't even come in. It's not even a thing. That's only a thing here. I hope that helps, my friend. Oh yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I think we have another super chat prop. Let's get to that. Yeah, let's get to these, because people are, let's respect if they're paying. Let's respect that. Thank you, brother, for answering my question and the work you do. You said metals affect our energetic field. What about mercury tooth fillings? So it does affect your field. It's obviously not good to have metal in you. It's not. Now, if it is it the worst thing? No. But it's definitely not the best, for sure. It's not the best. But it doesn't affect you even in a noticeable way. Like, I had fillings in my teeth when I was leaving my body. Everything was fine, But the best in its pure state, no, it's not good. Now, I do. People reach out to me all the time, guys, talking about products. So endorse this. I think this would be good for you to show your audience and all that garbage. I don't promote anything, but I will say Masterpiece does help with heavy metal detox. That is one thing that, I will say truly helps. And they're a good group of guys. Like, they're in Beyond the Veil. So, like, they're a good group of guys. There it is. You guys can get it. There's a link in the description. I will say that does help. And they're a good group of guys. Like, they really have good intentions. They're in Beyond the Veil. They come to the meetings sometimes. Like, they're really a good group of guys. And I believe their product works. I take it myself. That it honestly helps. That's one thing that I do. I've heard people came to me about Rife Machine. People came to me about all types of stuff, programs, retreats. I don't believe in pushing anything to you guys other than just the truth and empowering you guys. But I will say that does help. Detoxing heavy metals. The chemtrails are real. Chemtrails are a real thing. It helps to have tools to help fight that. But yeah, so mercury tooth fillings, I wouldn't worry about that too much. It depends, like, what are you doing, man? Like, what's your intention? If you're trying to harness all of your soul's frequency and energy here and manifest and see the other side, yeah, once you get to a certain level, like, you'll notice once you're totally clean. Like, an example of this is, so my diet, right? I've been eating once a day for a very long time. Some days I don't. Some days I have 2 meals, but most, like 95% of the time, I'm eating like 1 meal a day. Now, in the last 2-3 weeks, I have done 2 48-hour fasts a week. And there will be a point to this, but let me get to this first. There's 2 48-hour fasts a week. And for me, a 48-hour fast is very easy because I'm already eating once every 20 to 24 hours. So all I have to do is skip 1 meal, and then I'm already at 48 hours. So that's very easy. And I've been doing that like twice a week for the last couple of weeks. Now, when you're in that state and you're eating clean all the time, you will notice things in your body. Like, an example is, once you're already clean, you'll notice everything. Like, if I went out and I had a French fry or something, I'm going to feel that. Like, that's going to be like, I'm going to feel that difference because my body's so clean at that point, Now, if your body's already dirty and has a lot of things, mercury tooth filling is not going to be what's going to make or break you, but if you're already clean, if your body and your feels very clean and you get to a certain point where, like, that's all that's left, you'll feel that difference, you see. But that's an extreme level, I will say that. But yeah, that's the best way I can put that. What do we need to do not to come back to this life again after death? Just don't come back, you know. Just say, hey, you know, I'm done. Don't want to come back. And really feel that at your core. You know, best things to help you is to live your life in accordance. Do your very best to live a fulfilled life here. All right. So from your soul, this is all right. So to phrase this question, I'm going to give you guys context. What I'm about to explain to you is when you leave here, sometimes your soul, the you outside of here, desires to come back because you may have regret or you didn't do something or you want to experience something else. Sometimes you, outside of your human mind, you as a human, you may not want to come back. I'm sure no human wants to. But outside, when you're in soul forming, you're no longer a human again. Your perception changes. All right. Now, how do we ensure your soul's perception also doesn't want to come back? You live in alignment with your soul. You live in integrity. Every action's good. You live in fulfillment of yourself. You're truly happy. You're experiencing everything that you want. Also, you need to detach yourself from all physical attachments. Don't get attached to money. Don't get attached to wealth. Don't get attached to anything that's just an earthly desire. Don't get attached to any of that. And then when you get out of here, even in soul form, you won't want to come back. You know, because you've healed yourself here in the physical. There's nothing else for you to do here. There will be nothing else left for you to do here. You see, so that's one way to guarantee for sure. And how do you know that? It's a feeling. Like you guys know if you're living in accordance with yourself, if you're at peace, it's a state, it's a feeling. Like you'll know that. But yeah, that's how you can ensure that you don't want to come back here is do everything, you know, good and in alignment with your soul. And it's not hard to know. It's just a feeling. Do you feel good about yourself? Do you feel good about your life? Are you really attached to earthly things? Do you really want to get $1 million so bad? Well, guess what? If you really want to, then you're probably going to want to come back and try it. You know, then that's just an example. That's just an example. You know, I hope that helps. So it's not so much, the question isn't to not come back here. Somebody going to force you back here or anything like that. This question really resorts down to, is your soul, you, your higher self, going to want to return once you are out? And those are some of the things that can help eliminate that. I hope that helps clear things up for you. All right, we got another super chat prop. Let's get this. Because I know how frustrating it can be, you know, when you want your question answered and you're sitting waiting. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you. I thought this was another question. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate you. We touched this one already, prop. All right, this is a good one. Logan, my man. What's up, Logan? What if your partner's vibe is low and she always plays victim mentality at every angle? Did I choose to have this before I came here and I have a child with her? Is it okay to keep this relationship? My man, it's yeah. All right, this is a little personal, but I understand where you're coming from, man. For me, it got to a point where I didn't have kids with this person. So, you know, take that out of it. But it came to a point for me where I was so in such a higher state and she just wasn't, and I just couldn't do it anymore. You know, I just got to that point. I've done everything I could. I tried to help. I actually elevated her life completely, you know, all of that, all of those things. And then it just got to a point where I'm like, I can't do this no more. Like I just couldn't do it. Did you choose to have this before you came here? All of these things. That's tough to say, man. That's tough to say. It could be. It could not be. Yeah, it's okay to keep the relationship. It certainly is okay. And so I will say, I can answer this from direct experience. I will say, in an out of body experience, I witnessed 3 different lifetimes, 3 different relationships of mine. Each one, I chose a different thing, and I got to feel what it was in each decision that I made, and I felt what that decision was. And my overall outcome from that was, wow, this is just a temporary experience. I can make anything work. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I can make anything work. I could be in any situation and just be okay. That was my overall understanding of that. So, my best advice, man, just stay, man. Love her, unconditionally. Anyways, understand that we're in the hardest game ever. Have compassion. Stay with her. Stay with her for your kid. Yeah, don't don't leave or nothing. I wouldn't advise that, because at the end of the day, everything is always okay. Every situation that you're in is okay, man. That was the realization that I had after that. I was like, man, I can stay in this and be completely fine. Like that was my understanding. Like, I hear what you're saying. When you're in this high vibration and you're trying to do all these things here, but my honest truth, when I came back, I was like, man, I can be in any situation and be okay. I may have a human perception that I need to do these things, but honestly, you don't. You're here for a reason. You're here for the human experience at the end of the day. You know, some of us, some of us aren't. Some of us, it depends, but it depends, man. Do what feels right for you, my friend. I understand the message, and I'm glad you're spreading awareness and waking people up through the individuality. Yeah, man. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Time travel possible in OB? Yeah, man. 100%. You can see the past, present, future. 100%. Now, like, when you go to the past, can you change the past or something like that? No, but you can see it. You can see the potential futures too. You can see that. I just had an experience. I forgot when this was. This was last week, though. I just had an experience and I popped out and I seen a future event from my life. Yeah, you can certainly see futures, past, present. Yeah, you can certainly time travel in that aspect, my friend. Yeah, for sure. What race of beings are your guides? I found out that mine are Anunnaki and beings and Syrian beings. I don't really know. Those beings are gonna be like in a physical incarnation. Like, my guys are just like souls. Like, he was just a soul, and he had a human like template. If you're talking about a particular race, they're gonna be like in that character. So, I don't. You may have a connection with them, but like, guides are more. My understanding is that they are more like actual souls from the other side, not in an incarnation. You see, so mine appear as humans in soul form. hmm What experience from your soul records were like, I can't wait to have that experience again? Yeah, so soul records is like, you can experience your soul. I did a presentation on this too. Got into all the different ways you can experience it, how you can access it, everything. Everything is there, guys. But what experience from your soul records? So you can experience them as if they're actually happening to you, or you can experience it. You can experience it as if it's actually happening to you. Let me remember. I've seen some, like, on a tablet like device, something was given to me. I've seen scenes of my life. You can access it like reading a book. I've seen something like that. You can access it. Um, the best way to access your soul records is when you're actually in the experience, like it's happening now. Like, that's the best way to experience it. That's an amazing thing, and you're in amazement. I would say that's the best way. but there's many different ways. Yeah, I covered every way in that presentation. And that's honestly the best, because it's hard for me to, on the spot, remember and recall everything. But I try to do my best to do so for you guys. I hope that helps. But yeah, experiencing your soul records is honestly, an amazing thing. It's amazing for a couple of different reasons. One, you're seeing more parts of yourself. Like, it's freaking cool. Like, I don't care how normal I make the out of body experience sound. When you're a human, it's super cool to see a past life. Like, you know how cool that is? Like, that's one thing that, like, I used to want so bad, was to, like, let me remember my past life. Like, let me, like, you know how cool that is? That's the coolest thing ever. you know? And then you don't even just remember it. Like Matthias de Stefano, he talks about having memories of his past life. Like, you don't even just remember it. No, you were there. You seen it. You felt it. You re-experienced it. Like, that shit is amazing, man. It is amazing. Amazing. Yeah, man. I hope you get to have that experience too. Hey, man. How are you? Is it possible to help a soul who just passed transition to the other side? I do leave my body and I would like to do this work. Yeah, you can certainly do that. People do that. 4-5 did that. People do that, man. Yeah, you can certainly do that. It is possible, my friend. It is certainly possible. How did you use the gateway tapes? Did you do a different one every day? I do intro to focus 10, and it's still so hard not to fall asleep when I go past that one. I'm definitely asleep. Yeah, so I'll touch on this. I haven't touched on this in a while. So the gateway tape. So how I did it was when I first did the gateway tapes, I had nobody telling me or anything, right? I just found out about them, and I'm like, I'm about to try this shit. The one guy that I seen talking about it was Aaron Doltry or something like that on YouTube. This guy, all he talks about now is like, oh, if you do this is how you can become so magnetic and things like that, raising your vibration. But at one point he was talking about like the gateway tapes and things like that. So I would watch him, and that was like the only person I really watch. And then I'd see like other people on YouTube talking about, oh yeah, I do the gateway tapes. I did like one tape a month or something like that. I'm like, oh, you guys are tripping. These things are supposed to teach you how to leave your body. I'm about to do this shit every day. I was like, y'all are tripping. Why would you do this? And then, I found out you can do this when you're sleeping, right before you go to sleep. You can do this during the day. You can do this anywhere. So I was listening to one a day, man. I was listening to one a day. Now, sometimes I would listen to one twice. Like, if you notice when you're listening to them, it will skip. Like, intro to focus 10, he'll actually walk you down the steps and things like that. And then focus 10, like, you just got to be there. So, like, when it was like that, I'd be like, all right, damn, maybe I got to go back and re-listen a little bit and cement it. And things like that. So sometimes I would listen to it twice or 3 times in a row. But eventually, when I was really doing it, this was a couple years ago. I don't want to misspeak, but I believe I listened to like one a day until I got to Focus 15. I think I was listening to one a day when I got to Focus 15. But by that point, I was so strong, like I didn't need it anymore. Like at that point, I was so strong, and they wouldn't even work for me. Like a couple times when I would just put them on, I was in such a heightened frequency that as soon as I put the track on, I'd have the sensation of leaving my body. Like it would just come very quick. And that was me doing that. It wasn't the tapes. It was because I was in such a heightened frequency. And when I say I didn't need that, well, he was doing techniques like, okay, let's look through the straw and let's remember. Like I was already leaving, man. Like I was out. And then when he was talking about the technique about, okay, now imagine a bubble and you floating up, Like once it got to that point, like I couldn't imagine the bubble and me floating up. I was like, all right, this is stupid. This is just guided stuff now at that point. It didn't work how he said it. But at that point, it was so easy for me I could just lay still, put some binaural beats on, and project my consciousness out in like 5 or 10 minutes. So, but yeah, so I did do a different one every day, and all I did was I just Googled, all right, what's the gateway tapes in order? Okay. And I just listened to them on YouTube. Now, obviously, I knew at the time it wasn't the best, but, that's just something that I did, whatever. And it worked for me, And then obviously I was like, well, CIA had something to do with this. I was like, I don't really know if there's subliminal messages in here and shit. Like, I was just like, all right, let me just stop that. Let me just do this myself, right? After a while. But yeah, they do help. And the whole goal, this is why I tell people that the whole goal with the gateway tapes is not to use them as if you're going to use them and you're going to astral project listening to them. That is not how it worked for me. But what this did do was it made me aware of my electromagnetic field that is around me, controlling my energy, focusing my thoughts, shutting my body down insanely quick. And this has also traversed to helping me leave my body now. I can shut my body down just by saying 10. And I'm shutting my body down instantly. I've learned easier ways. I don't even do that anymore. But, when I was practicing, I would just say, oh, mind awake, body asleep, boom, 10. In that state instantly, very quickly, So, yeah, that happens. But yeah, I hope that helps. So yeah, I would just listen to one a day. Some of them you do need to listen to a couple, some he does like kind of without a warning either. You'll just be like, what? The last tape you actually walked me through it. And now this one, I got to just know what to do. So if you ever get to that point, just go back and listen to the other one. But yeah, they certainly do help, and they help you get in a focused state, and when I was listening to this, I want to say this was like the time when I blocked everything out. I wasn't listening to anything besides the gateway tapes or frequency, all those types of things. Yeah, and it happened very quickly, very quickly. Yeah, I will say that. Hey, man. Oh, hey. Dream time. What's up, man? Got an interview coming out with him soon. He's a great guy, guys. Great guy, great energy. Check him out. Very great guy. Very great energy. I heard the loud boom sound a few nights ago, but it woke me up. How do I prevent that from happening? Yeah. So sometimes you will hear the loud boom, and it will wake you up. That's what you want, though. Like, you want to be woken up, but like, don't open up your eyes or move. Now that you've heard it, now you can kind of prepare yourself and expect for this to happen again. So now the next time it happens, you're a little bit more prepared. And even if you do move, don't freak out. Like, it's not over. Like, I've heard the loud boom and be like, oh, what's going on? Woke up, opened my eyes, and just went back and was instantly in that state and just continued the process. So even if you do wake up, just relax. Or if you hear it and now you're aware of it, and you can prepare yourself and say, okay, if I hear the loud boom, I'm just going to remain laying still with my eyes closed and try to leave that way. Or even if it does startle you and wake up, be like, oh, okay, I'm almost there. And then just try to relax, not getting excited or scared, and just lay down and relax. In a couple minutes, you'll be out. You'll be out. Now, I will say that the loud boom, it really only happened to me in the beginning. And this leads me to believe it was because my frequency was so low. That transition was so drastic that it comes in the form of like a loud boom, boom, right? But after I left or heard it a couple times, I've never heard a loud boom anymore. The only thing that I still experience from time to time is the vibrational phase. And that's still the same type of thing. It's because my frequency is a little low and then I'm about to rise out. So that's that. But yeah, I hope that helps. All right, guys. I think I'm going to end this. Before I do so, I do have a couple of announcements. it's the daytime. I'm gonna get out here and get active. I got some work to do, but so next month, this may be the last live for a little bit. Next month I have a lot going on, so I probably won't be doing lives. Um, you know, but then we'll resume back once I get a little bit more free time and clear it up. We'll resume back, and we'll keep doing these lives and things. I have a presentation tomorrow coming out, leaving your body during the day. I document the whole process. There's a video coming out on YouTube Monday. What heaven? That heaven's real, and does everybody get there? I'll have another video coming out describing an easy out of body technique for you guys. Uh, just really trying to help people and empower people as much as possible. And yeah. But aside from that, that's it. I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. And remember, the other side is real. It is physical, and you do not have to die or have a near-death experience to experience this. You guys can all experience this today. But all right, guys. What's up, Jay Shar? But all right, guys. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Take it easy.